Let me ask you something first. What if I told you that some people make money while sleeping? Not by working overtime, not by running a business, but simply by owning pieces of companies they've never even visited. Sounds unreal, right? At the same time, what if I also told you that other people lose thousands of dollars doing the exact same thing? Welcome to the world of stocks. You've probably heard words like stocks, shares, or the stock market. They sound intimidating, like something only rich people or Wall Street insiders understand. But here's the truth. The idea behind stocks is actually very simple. And once you understand it, you'll never look at money, companies, or investing the same way again. So today, let's answer one simple question. What are stocks, and how do they really work? At its core, a stock is not a piece of paper, not a magic number on a screen, and not a gambling ticket. A stock is ownership. When a company exists, someone owns it. If you start a small coffee shop by yourself, you own 100% of it. Every profit, every loss, every decision is yours. But when a company becomes bigger, something interesting happens. Instead of one person owning everything, ownership can be divided into small pieces. Each of those pieces represents a claim on the company's assets and future profits. That piece is called a share. And the collection of all those shares is what we call stock. So when you buy a stock, you're not betting on numbers. You are buying a tiny slice of a real business that sells real products and employs real people. Even if that slice is very small, it still counts as ownership. People often get confused between the words stock and share. Think of it this way. Stock is the entire ownership system of a company. Shares are the individual units inside that system. If a company divides itself into 1 million pieces, each piece is one share. Owning 10 shares means you own 10 out of 1 million pieces of that company. Different company, different number of shares. But the idea is always the same. Shares are how ownership is measured. Now here's an important question. Why would a company ever give away ownership? Because growth costs money. Imagine a growing company that wants to build new factories, develop new technology, or expand into new countries. All of that requires huge amounts of capital. One option is borrowing money from a bank. But loans must be repaid, with interest, no matter what happens. Another option is selling ownership. By selling shares, the company gets money without promising to pay it back. In exchange, investors become part owners and share both the rewards and the risks. This trade-off is the foundation of the stock market. Let's make this concrete with a fresh example. Imagine a young engineer named Daniel. Daniel has built a small software company that helps small businesses manage their finances. At first, Daniel owns 100% of the company. But after a year, demand explodes. More customers want the software, and competitors are catching up fast. Daniel needs money to hire engineers, improve servers, and market his product worldwide. The company is valued at $1 million, but Daniel only has $200,000 in cash. So Daniel decides to divide the company into 100 equal shares. Each share represents 1% of the business. He keeps 60 shares and sells 40 shares to investors for $10,000 each. Now something important happens. Daniel still controls the company, but he no longer owns it alone. The investors now own 40% combined, and Daniel owns 60%. Everyone is tied to the same outcome. If the company grows, everyone benefits. If the company fails, everyone feels the loss. That's how stocks align incentives between founders and investors. So why would someone buy those shares? There are two main reasons. First, price growth. If Daniel's company grows from $1 million to $5 million in value, each share becomes more valuable. An investor who bought one share for $10,000 might later sell it for $50,000. That difference is called capital gain. Second, profit sharing. Some companies choose to share a part of their profits with shareholders. This payment is called a dividend. Not all companies pay dividends. Young companies often reinvest everything to grow faster, while mature companies are more likely to distribute profits. Either way, investors are rewarded for owning a successful business. Now, here's the next question. How do people actually buy and sell stocks? That's where stock exchanges come in. A stock exchange is simply an organized marketplace. It connects buyers and sellers under clear rules, pricing systems, and regulations. Famous examples include the New York Stock Exchange and NASDAQ. When a company goes public, it allows anyone from large institutions to ordinary individuals to buy and sell its shares through these exchanges. Prices change constantly, based on supply, demand, expectations, and news. This is where many beginners get confused. If stocks represent ownership, why do prices move so wildly? Because prices don't just reflect what a company is today. They reflect what people believe the company will become in the future. Good earnings, new products, strong leadership, prices tend to rise. Bad news, scandals, economic slowdowns, prices tend to fall. Sometimes prices move for rational reasons. Sometimes they move because of fear, hype, or rumors. This emotional element is why the stock market can feel like a roller coaster. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Owning stocks means accepting uncertainty. If a company struggles, its stock price can drop. If it goes bankrupt, shareholders may lose everything. Stocks are not guaranteed income. They are shared risk. This is why understanding what you own is more important than chasing fast profits. If you're new to stocks, the goal should not be to get rich fast. The goal should be to understand. Start with companies you recognize and understand. Spread your money across different businesses instead of betting everything on one idea. And most importantly, know the difference between trading and investing. Trading focuses on short-term price movements. Investing focuses on long-term business growth. They require different mindsets, different skills, and different risk tolerance. Stocks are not magic. They are not evil. And they are not just for the rich. They are a tool, a powerful one, if you understand how it works. If this video helped you see stocks differently, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.